Good afternoon on a sunny day in Syracuse, New York. The JMA Wireless Dome, the site of today's ACC Women's Hoops Top 25 Showdown. It's the 23rd-ranked Syracuse Orange hosting the 15th-ranked Louisville Cardinals. Nyla Harris has been outstanding lately, coming off a 19-point performance.
To talk about an energy player for the Cardinals, it's Nyla Harris. She had 18 and 14 the last time against Syracuse. Really impressed with the way she's able to operate on the baseline and score the basketball. She's also relentless on the boards.
This Syracuse team will look to Dyaisha Fair when they need a bucket. She's the one who gets it done, one of the top scorers in the ACC. What stands out when you watch her play?
Everything stands out. I mean, there's no slowing her down. Over 3,100 career points, so she gets it done on all three levels. Scoring inside. A pull-up game is tremendous. I love that she finds gaps amidst the defense, and then she can also knock down threes from the outside. It is clear that the Orange go as Dyaisha Fair goes, and she's got to be scoring today in order to get this win at home.
Let's take a look at the keys to the game presented by Sky Rizzi. What's it going to come down to today, Ice?
Well, for the visiting Cardinals, it's so important that they take care of the basketball. Syracuse had 21 points off turnovers in their first matchup. And then defensively, limiting guard penetration. Can you limit Fair, Woolley, and Rice from getting to the paint? On the other side, for the Orange, it's defending without fouling. They gave up 22 points on the free throw line to the Cardinals in that last matchup. This has to be an area of improvement. And then winning the rebounding battle. This will allow them to control the tempo of this game.
28th all-time meeting between Syracuse and Louisville. The Orange looking to avenge a loss to the Cardinals just 11 days ago. Tip-off and lineups coming up in a top 25 showdown after this. Let's take a look at our starting five, brought to you by Bounty, the quicker picker-upper. No major changes for the Cardinals. For Syracuse, junior forward Saniaa Wilson earning her third straight start, and Coach mentioned she likes the experience she brings, Ice.
Wilson, a junior, does a terrific job on the boards for this team, and I like the maturity that she plays with, and it's gone away for Coach Jack so far.
Syracuse led by Felicia Jack in her second season at the helm, has done an excellent job bringing this program into the national spotlight. Now a top 25 team, and they have been rolling all season long. And you pointed out none of those losses this season have been bad losses. They've been losing to ranked teams. On the other side, Louisville Cardinals head coach Jeff Walz, in his 17th season leading the Card, just has done an exceptional job coming into the season with more than 400 wins.
Yeah, you can put him next to knows how to win in the encyclopedia.
And here is the tip-off. It's going to be the home team, the Orange, who have the first opportunity. That one won't go. Rebound brought in by Jefferson. Right away, Louisville pushing, getting it done in transition is Harris.
Well, that's where Louisville wants to go. They want to get out in transition. They want to rebound, take two dribbles up the court, outlet it, and then score quickly.
Last time these teams met, the Cardinals with a 10-2 edge in fast break points. And they also have a litany of scores so they can spray the ball around out on the break as well. Syracuse coming off a win on Thursday. Getting it done inside is Woolley. 2-2 start here early in quarter number one. Louisville also coming off of a huge win, taking down ranked Notre Dame. Coach Walz very happy with his team's performance in that matchup. Ricards rattles home. She wanted her team to bring the intensity right away in this game.
Yeah, the Orange only won by 3, 62-59 as Woolley misses from the outside, but there is Wilson. That's what she does.
This Orange team so good on the offensive glass, 13th in the country, top in the ACC when it comes to bringing in those O-boards. Cochran, step back. And that one rattles home. Cochran comes in averaging nearly 11.5 points, more than 6 boards per game as Fair kicks it out. Baseline shot, foul called.
Be a little bit more smarter there not to foul the jump shooter. And Woolley, that's where she lives, in the mid-range game. It's not the three, it's not the layup. In the mid-range is where she does her damage.
Woolley, such a critical piece for this Orange team, averaging 33 minutes per game. So she doesn't come off the floor very often. Also gets it done in the defensive end.
Yeah, a lot of the time she's playing up at the top of the press or at the top of their 3-2. And she's long, 6 foot, so she gets a lot of deflections.
Cochran kicking it out. Nice pass inside, the finish from Harris.
Harris does a great job of getting deep positioning. She backs you up, she shows her numbers, and she makes a strong, quick move.
Harris with a huge double-double, 18 points, 14 rebounds, 6 O-boards. The last time these two teams met, a takeaway for the Card. Ricards pulls up, rattles home. This Louisville team getting some friendly rolls here in the Dome. Fair. Wood had some time. She'll go inside, offline. Kiki Jefferson, the graduate student guard. James Madison transfer, draws the foul on the dribble.
Just seeing the way that she's been able to grow as a scorer, as a passer. I mean, Coach Walsh just says she wants to get better. She is willing to get coached and to get challenged.
Foul called as she got that deflection and then the takeaway.
It's really impressive what Coach Walls is able to do year after year, just bringing in the number of transfers he does and then getting everyone to gel and play Louisville basketball. That's been a constant since he's been there. They defend, they score in the paint, and they run.
Fair with a tough finish. Syracuse already with 4 offensive rebounds here in the first quarter. They average about 16.5 per game. Cochran under quite a bit of pressure. Harris gets inside, tough take.
Man, Harris is just so good. Love the way she slices through the lane off the bounce, and then that's Verjao on the other end. A little bit of contact, but finishes the easy 2. I love a post player, Kylan, that runs the floor. It's my favorite thing. Second favorite thing. My first favorite thing is knocking down threes. Second favorite, though, is a post player running the floor.
Great block. Louisville looks to cash in, and they do. Kiki Jefferson, threes, rim runners. Blocks maybe somewhere down there.
Yeah, blocks maybe top 5. I just, me at 5'7", I didn't have too many of them.
Dyaisha Fair went out of the game, looked like she took a bump to the head, but then they were also bandaging up her elbow. She remains on the bench here with 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. The 16th player in NCAA history to eclipse 3,000 career points back in mid-January, and a player the Orange hope returns to this game at some point. Ball misses everything there.
Yeah, the Orange came out of that timeout in a 1-3-1 zone. It was going well until Verjao went for that block.
Players step up on any given night.
Being able to score the basketball. And one thing that this team does so good, they share the ball. You can tell that they want to get a great shot. Everyone has an equal opportunity.
Had a couple of big games, though, as that 3 rattles out. She had 19 against Miami, 19 against Clemson, so a player who's starting to get more comfortable. Curry averaging nearly 9 points per game. Coming in off the bench since early on in the season. And this Louisville team, by the way, returning just 4 players from a season ago. Nice pass that finished down low from Russell. Woolley. Doubled. Almost lost the handle. Gets it to go.
I don't know how Woolley was able to finish that. Just using her length. Really nice touch, though, around the basket she has. And then Verjao on the steal. Look at the big girl getting in the mix defensively.
Syracuse starting to apply some defensive pressure here. 3 ball is short. Out of play, Louisville basketball.
Woolley wincing a little bit after that last play. Like she's holding or grimacing maybe that hand or thumb.
These transfers bring in a ton of experience. Ball offline, rebound, brought in by Wilson. Fair, the graduate student guard out of Rochester, New York. A player who followed Coach Jack over from Buffalo. The way that she's watched her progress and blossom as a player. Dyaisha Fair with a great relationship with her Coach Jack. She fakes it.
Yeah, Kylan, when you talk about loyalty, we often talk about players staying in programs for 4 to 5 years. As Fair hits the step back, baby. Oh, she's so fun to watch. When we talk about loyalty and players staying at schools, but how about loyalty and staying with a coach, right? Coach Jack is just a player's coach. I mean, she's made Dyaisha Fair just this awesome superstar, one of the best scorers college basketball has seen, and right back at you then.
Fair. Open 3 look for Rice is offline.
Rice has had a tough couple of games for the Orange. Did not score in their last one versus Georgia Tech. Awesome defense, though, by Alyssa Latham on the block.
Jada Curry thought she was going to get that one off. Couldn't in time. Curry called for her first foul, and Syracuse is now in the bonus. Top 7 in blocks per game with 7.5 boards, 32 total blocks on the season, but there are some ups and downs. It's hard to sustain the level of play. The ACC requires you to bring intensity every single game. There are no days off.
Yeah, well, and Coach Jack just told us, as another block by Latham. Hold on. It's a block party in Syracuse.
Latham heard us talking, said, I'll get the party started.
Man, this is on the track down from behind. All ball as well. Man, she's special. Love it when post players just don't give up on the play. She closed face so fast, and you know, Coach Jack just told us she took her out of the starting lineup because she needed to see the game first, and it's a benefit. Why those 6 Player of the Year awards are given. When you've got time to see the game, to understand what you need to bring in order to make it effective, you can learn a little bit more, especially as a freshman.
Latham, though, coming off a nice game against Georgia Tech, 12 points, 8 rebounds, really injected a lot of life into the game when she entered, and that's something that can be a major asset as well, is increasing the pace, adding a different element when she gets into the game. Right on cue.
Great little dribble and operating there by Rice, and then finds Latham, and she's got a nice jump shot around the basket, but Jada Curry has come alive here in the first quarter as well for the Cardinals.
Curry gets the last laugh just before that first quarter buzzer. Some back and forth action underway in Syracuse, but it's the Cardinals that hold the 6 points.
Got to take care of your games in February. It's just oh so crucial this time of year.
Every team fighting for every spot in the ACC. Coach Wall's telling us this might be the deepest the conference has been. Top to bottom, there's no one that you say, hey, this is a gimme when we show up.
Absolutely not. And Coach Jack mentioned that. You know, she said, hey, we didn't have a ranked opponent come into our gym on Thursday, and Georgia Tech felt like the team started off a little bit slow, and quickly they realized they were in a dogfight and had to pull it out.
Syracuse bailed out by a foul. They'll get it on the baseline with now 20 back on the clock. Syracuse getting it done on the offensive glass as they usually do. Woolley goes to the ground. Syracuse now with 8 offensive rebounds and just 3 defensive rebounds. You don't often see that type of disparity. Baseline ball rattles out from Love. Curry with a sharp cut into the lane draws the foul. Pointed out averaging nearly 19 points per game. Corona, California, 2-time Pac-12 All-Conference selection according to the media. 2-time honorable mention selection. Baseline play here for the Orange. Plenty of time for Latham to hit from the baseline. Harris working, draws the foul. Harris coming off a career-high 19 points on 9 of 11 shooting.
She was on fire. I mean, just the whole game, every play.
Harris now is 8 points, 3 for 3 from the floor, 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Fair, though, drawing the double. Travel called.
All about visibility. If you see it, then you know you can be it. I love being a part of these days.
Curry pulls up and gets it to rattle home.
Uh-oh.
Fair, a 2023 All-ACC first team and all-defensive team selection, a WBCA All-America honorable mention selection as well, and there that one falls for her. And that makes it 400 career three-pointers made for Dyaisha Fair. Just incredible what she's been able to accomplish under Coach Jack now at Syracuse. On the other end, the Cardinals getting it done.
The best time of the year, right? In February, again, you know how important these games are, and to build your depth. And Syracuse so dangerous when both Latham and Verjao are on the court together. I mean, that front court duo is hard to guard.
Latham gets the turnaround. Excuse me.
The freshman not playing like a freshman at all.
It's just great to see the continued growth across the country, and very grateful for the women who paved the way.
Well, and how I think about it, Kylan, is just that we want to reflect the great product on the floor as Rice finally gets a field goal. It's just nice to see that even behind the scenes we have women that are producing these shows and making sure that what you see and what you hear is from them.
Hughes now pushing. Oh, what a take. Foul called, though. Shooting about 77% from the charity stripe, averaging more than 11 points per game. How about this matchup, though? 4-point ball game with just under 4 to go before the halftime break as Rice's free throw rattles home. 7 on the shot clock. 3 is too strong. Oboard brought in by the Cardinals. Battling is Harris. Jefferson from the top of the key, no. Fair pushing. Sees Jefferson in front of her.
I thought Fair should have took that one-on-one against Jefferson. I mean, she's electric in transition. Jefferson was tracking back.
Woolley gets the mid-range game going.
Coach Jack told us, I mean, that's been something she's worked on her with her whole career, is knowing when to score the basketball and take over, and then knowing when to be that fast first point guard. And Woolley went for an ambitious block there and is called for the foul.
I mean, we talk about National Girls and Women in Sports Day. Caitlin Clark has done to elevate the game. There are more conversations around women's basketball than ever before.
Tell you what, there's more rebounding than ever before because Nyla Harris is not stopping. Louisville has had tremendous success scoring inside the paint already in this first half. They're shooting 51% from the field.
Makes it much more difficult to rebound the ball when it goes through the basket as Harris knocks down the free throw. Louisville extending the lead to Fair with the kick out. Burrows, no. Harris battles for the rebound.
How many times have you said that? Harris battles for the rebound. She is on everything for the Cards, and then they find her underneath. Beautiful pass by her Cards.
5 to go. The Orange looking for the last shot. Fair from way downtown. Are you kidding me? Dyaisha Fair just in time. Dyaisha Fair, one of the most clutch players in the country.
From the logo, you got to get a little bit closer because she can knock that down consistently. I also think for the Cardinals, though, getting Olivia Cochran going. She's been a little quiet here in the first half, but certainly a player that they need to score the basketball as well.
Cochran with just 2 points, 1 of 4 from the floor through the first half of action. Second half underway here at the JMA Wireless Dome. Some high-pressure defense here from Louisville. Both these teams average 9+ steals per game. Fair with a tough shot. Cardinals get the rebound this time. Jefferson beyond the arc, yes! Player who can do a little bit of everything for this team, averages about 2.5 assists per game. A steal for the Cardinals. Taylor. Harris in transition. Fair from way downtown, no. Jefferson out and running, foul called. Likes to get out in transition. She wants her team to also find the moments to slow it down.
Just looked out of sorts, almost rushed, and they've taken contested shots. And so, is it slowing down the pace? Possibly, but really for me, it's ball reversal right now. The ball is staying on one side of the court, and it's stagnant. They've got to get ball reversal. They've got to make the Cardinals rotate defensively. That is how you build an advantage.
Trying to get the defense to shift, and this Louisville team has a stifling defense. Woolley, though, with a tough take.
But this pass over the top, that can't happen, Kylan. That's way too easy.
Oh, and Harris can't get it to go. Harris with some frustration, just her second missed shot of the game, though. But you looked at that last possession, there wasn't a lot of ball movement like you were just talking about for Syracuse. It was mostly just Fair kind of dribbling and working off ball screens.
Yeah, ball movement and then getting a post touch right here. See if Verjao can bring something different as she's going one-on-one. Big girl off the glass, that's her move.
Nicely done with a tough angle too. Jefferson draws the foul. Woolley called for her 3rd foul, so we'll see how much she stays on the floor.
That's the 2nd time Woolley also has fouled a jump shooter.
She's now into double figures in scoring.
Oh, she stepped right into that leadership role on this team. And like you mentioned, just the stat stuffer, but also for the Cardinals, have to guard all 5 players on the court.
There's Sydney Taylor is called for her 3rd, checks out of the game. The UMass transfer, graduate student guard, will have to take a little bit of a break, coming off a nice performance, 13 points against Notre Dame. Verjao from the corner. Oh, that was sweet. Mentioned she had to miss more than 2 months dealing with an injury. but has the ability to space the floor as there's a jump ball called on the scramble. Fair.
Now, Dyaisha Fair reminds me of James Harden and forcing the foul, and that's what scorers do, right? They want to keep the defense on their toes. She's terrific at just drawing fouls while she's on the ball, dancing with it.
Curry called for her third, so another player dealing with a little bit of foul trouble here in this third quarter. Both Curry and Taylor with 3 for the Cardinals. Tough angle. O-board brought in by Rice, but foul called on the floor. Frustration there from Louisville. That one's going to go against Jada Curry, so that's now her 4th. Jada Curry, after providing that spark off the bench, really a couple nice baskets in the first half to put up 9. Now we'll check out with 4 fouls.
Yeah, she picked up 2 quick ones, right, on in which plays in which you don't need to pick up that foul.
Something to keep an eye on. Cochran with just 2 points, 1 of 4 from the floor. Step back from Fair, too strong. Fight for the rebound. Foul called once again. Running it down there was Rice.
A little overzealous there on trying to get the O-board.
Rice with 4 points, 1 of 6 from the floor. Did not score, though, in that Georgia Tech game. A mid-range shot will fall pretty from Harris.
Man, she's just so good. 18 points here today. So confident in what she's able to do.
Speaking of confidence, Verajao fired. O-board. Second chance here for the Qs. Latham's 3 is off. Guards.
I say Coach Wall's telling his team, go, go, go. He wants them to hunt in transition, and they get rewarded with the foul. Whether it's maybe getting a post touch and then off of the double team, kicking it back out to her, just walk to the end of the bench. She had to get treated by the athletic team and get some tape on that ankle, so hoping she's good to go.
Fair got double teamed there on that screen. Woolley all the way to the cup.
Coach Jack puts her hands up like, come on, you could do this every time if you wanted to.
Time for Jefferson, comes up short. Ricards. Nine to shoot. Jefferson from the corner rattles out. Pushing here is Rice. Fair all by herself lays it up and in.
Defense to offense.
You look down the list of her scoring efforts, double digits regularly in fourth quarters. 13 in the fourth quarter against Louisville. It just goes on and on.
Oh, yeah. She's consistent that way. She knows that when the team needs to win, she's got to do a little bit more. Great defense there by Russell to tie up Rice, who walks away a little bit shaken up as well. Yeah, well, anytime a player gets hit in the face, especially off a situation like this, you look to review it to make sure that there was
play is under review.
Intentional. And so tie up as they were moving, it's after the tie up that Russell kind of pushes that right hand out and extends it a little bit. Yeah, just there. Yeah.
A lot of boos from the crowd here at the JMA Wireless Dome as it was being shown on the big screen as well. Intentional foul is going to be the call made by the officiating crew here at the JMA Wireless Dome.
Handled that correctly.
One thing that's tough now is if this ends up being a single possession game, giving up free throw opportunities like that, an intentional foul, and then for the Syracuse team, they've got to hit them. In the last game when these two teams met, just 11 days ago, they shot just under 48% from the charity strike. It's hard not to look back at that and say, hey, we got to execute better.
Yeah, you got to take all your money with you, and that starts with knocking down free throws, and Fair goes 2 for 2, and then the Orange get the ball back.
Tough drive, won't fall for Rice.
Penetrating and getting to the paint, but would love to see her finish with a little more composure.
Rice averaging more than 11 per game, but here come the Cardinals, able to break the press, and Taylor cashes in. Fair. Tough fadeaway. No. What a player who came in with 25 blocks, second on the team, averages more than 7 rebounds per game, 7 points as well. 5-second differential here between the game clock and shot clock. Fair. Going inside, gets the roll this time. Shot clock off. 3 to go. Ricards batted away. Last chance comes up short. Love did everything she could to get that one off in time, but ultimately comes up short. Anything the Orange need to do in terms of defensive transition to better hold them off.
Yeah, it's communicating in transition, locating shooters, but Louisville has only knocked down 2 threes in this game. The focus right now needs to be protecting the paint for the Orange.
Corner 3, rattles out. Cochran trying to come up with the offensive board alongside Love.
This is a huge lineup right now for the Orange. Verjao, Wilson, and Latham. That means Latham right now is a 3 playing the wing.
Fair. Baseline jumper goes for Mobley. Or for Latham, rather.
Yeah, Fair just attracts so much attention. She dropped 2-3 defenders every possession, and Latham so good in the 15-foot range.
Latham with 8 points, 4 of 8 from the floor, 4 boards as well. Tough take inside from Love.
Beautiful finish by Love.
NC State has been rolling as of late as that 3 ball is too strong. Another fight for the rebound.
Orange go back to a normal 3 guards, 2 big lineup. In this 3-2 zone, they like.
Cochran finds Harris, draws the foul.
The X factor for the game, but what sticks out to me about her game is the way she operates the baseline. She has been tremendous to get the ball and then finish.
Harris also does particularly well.
Syracuse has to get a good offensive possession. I felt like the last few just haven't looked like their offensive flow, and then Rice, tough reverse layup that she doesn't finish.
Jefferson out and running, and she does.
And that's what bad shots do.
Tough pass over the top. Wilson, the ball gets stuck. That's a jump ball.
But Syracuse just has not had bad losses. They've lost to Maryland early in the season when they were ranked. And then I think importantly their wins. I mean, beating Notre Dame twice was fantastic. Also FSU.
Dropped a game to UNC. At the time they weren't ranked. Now they are, as that one rattles home. But it's true, when you look at the 4 losses for Syracuse, they're all to quality teams. Foul called on the other end as Harris went up. Louisville also now in the bonus, Syracuse with 5 as a team. So that's going to be big here down the stretch with each foul, this Cardinals team going to the line.
And drawing those fouls, and they've been tremendous today in terms of finishing at the free throw line. 21 points for the Cardinals on the free throw line.
Fair from the corner, got it!
That 3 was off the ball, Kylan. She came off a screen. She had some space where all she had to do was catch and shoot and be a terrific shooter. Sometimes when she's on the ball, it's a bit too much pressure. It's a lot of energy that she expends. Well, right
to set her up.
Yeah, Kylan, excuse me. Right now, I mean, it's interesting that Kennedy is in the game for Syracuse, Kennedy Perkins, and just she hasn't played a ton, but we've seen back-to-back possessions now where Fair has been off the ball, and then Wilson with a huge offensive rebound and finish with contact. Well, Fair off of the shot, and what the Syracuse team does, they expect the miss, gets the rebound, draws the foul on Cochran, a chance for the 3-point play. That's a huge momentum swing for the Orange.
The bread and butter for the Syracuse team, being able to finish off the offensive glass. However, in this game, Louisville with 13 offensive boards, 12 points. Syracuse with 18 boards, 11 points. So it's actually the Cardinals that have the edge in terms of the scoring production as a result.
Yeah, the Orange did a great job in the first half of capitalizing off of their O boards and then allowing them to finish. But in the second half, it hasn't been that way.
Fair pulls up in transition. Oh, yeah! Taylor looking to respond, and she does. Shooting clinic here in Syracuse.
But the most important is allowing Fair to be off the ball, allowing Fair just to have the opportunity and the ability to catch and shoot. It takes the pressure off of what she's got to do for this team. if she can just play off the ball and be the scorer.
Perkins says, I can also be a scorer. Isis, 2-point ball game here in quarter number 4, a 10-3 run for Syracuse. And oh my gosh! Woolley trying to capitalize in transition, but this Syracuse team is not playing around down the stretch. Foul called.
And the Orange here in the fourth quarter. Listen, I don't remember this many blocks on this court when I played, but out here today, we've seen so many. The young players for the Orange step up. It's Latham, that's a freshman. It's Perkins, that's a sophomore.
This Syracuse team right now has 10 blocks coming from 6 different players. So everyone's eating at the block party. They average just 4.5 blocks per game. So this is something special we're seeing from this Orange defense right now.
Yeah, this is impressive. I mean, not to mention just the athletic ability of the Cardinals and the way they are blocking these shots. They picked it up, their intensity and defensively here in the fourth.
Latham went 1 for 2. Ricard's denied again!
The party isn't over, Kylan. The party is not over, folks.
11 blocks for the Orange. Fair breaks through. Yes! Syracuse takes the lead! Fair gets the board. First lead of the day for the Orange, and it comes late in the fourth quarter. And here comes one of the most clutch players, not just in the conference, but in the country, Dyaisha Fair, now handling the basketball. What a comeback for the Syracuse team. Fair goes to the ground, takes contact. Off to the races are the Cardinals. Ricard's streaking as Cochran can't get the roll.
Man, how about Olivia Cochran there on the defense? Tell you what, though, that block defensively was tremendous. I mean, we know Dyaisha Fair gets everyone's best defender.
Cochran makes the first to tie this game up at 69 apiece, shooting just under 74% from the free throw line. Makes the second. Louisville lead. Perkins. Nine to shoot. Perkins, tough angle, no. Cochran the rebound.
Got to find a way to get Dyaisha Fair a touch. At this point in the game, there should not be a possession offensively for the Orange in which they're set in the half court and she doesn't get a touch, Kylan. That can't happen.
Fair, with the way she scores, averages 9 in the fourth quarter. This is the time where she takes over ball games. Playing off ball should open her up, but she has to get the ball.
Keep an eye, yeah, I was going to say, keep an eye on Nyla Harris on the baseline.
Big possession here, though. 5 to shoot. Cochran spinning, gets the finish.
Punch action to Cochran, big body post player. She's a senior. This is what she does. She scores in moments. Nice play by the big girl.
Cochran overall quiet in this game with 6, but there's a response. Perkins calling her own number. He played just 8 minutes against Georgia Tech, scored a bucket. That was her first time scoring in 6 games. Hadn't been used a ton, but now when her team needs her, she's showing up.
Gotta be ready when your number is called.
Curry in the game, running the offense for Louisville with 4 fouls. About a 25-second differential between the game clock and shot clock. 1-point lead for the Cardinals. Oh, what a pass. Oh, but denied. Jump ball called on the floor, but the Syracuse Orange defense says no.
Man, at some point you got to use a shot fake because the timing and the block party is very much real. That was both Wilson and Latham. 12 blocks in this one. Everyone has been critical and so important. Yeah, I love how she gloated about talking about Latham, but who else has stepped up today? Kennedy Perkins, the sophomore, just here in the fourth quarter, surveying the offense, decides to take it herself, and then a nice finish inside. We talked about that she was put in the game to make sure Fair got her shots off the ball, but also she's taking advantage of scoring the basketball, and she's taken good shots. She hasn't forced anything. She's taken good shots within rhythm, within the offense of the Orange.
33 seconds to go. What play are you running at this point?
You run multiple options here. You run an option so you can get punch action into the post. You run an option so you can get Dyaisha Fair the ball in a good situation. And then most importantly, you remember you have some time. You don't have to shoot it right away. You have time to work the offense to get exactly what you want. But most importantly, you got to take care of the basketball. Cannot turn it over here in these late moments.
This is what ACC Women's Hoops is all about. This one coming down to the last couple possessions, assuming it doesn't go to OT. Fans on their feet here at JMA Wireless Dome. 3-second differential. Fair gets caught up. Woolley gets it off. No. Batted out. There's Perkins. 4 to shoot. Fair gets fouled.
So much going on here. Cochran had the right idea in fouling because Louisville only has 2 fouls in this quarter, but it's called intentional. And that is tough. That's tough, guys. As a player, as someone obviously who has been in this game, that is a tough call because you know the situation that is happening right now. As a referee, as a player, you know the situation. Yeah, and I could see it with the tug, not maybe going after the basketball. She went more after the body. So she came across 2 hands. And then the shirt tug at the end. Oh, that's tough, but that's important to know that you got to go for the basketball when you're making these type of plays.
Fair sinks the first free throw. Shoots more than 81.5% from the free throw line. The chance to give the Orange the lead. Fair, nothing but nylon. The crowd erupts here in Syracuse, New York.
And they get the ball back, Highland, so now Louisville has to think about getting a steal or fouling right away.
Fair, running away from the pressure.